Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited so you don't miss an episode. Also, this episode is presented to you by Prize Picks, the simplest fantasy sports game on the market. You can pick multiple sports, Trey Young, Matt Ryan on Thursday Night Football. Sign up using the code ASU, and Prize Picks will 100% match your first deposit up to $100. Just download the app for free in the App Store or Google Play. Well, the Falcons went down to Dallas and got beat badly. They lost 43-3. After a loss like that, do you look at much film, or do you go over the game, or do you move on? What do you do?
Well, it's a short week. They got the Patriots on Thursday night football, where the nation can see. Here's a chance to get that bad taste out your mouth. But we talked about it last week. It was a matchup between strategies between the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, who was the former head coach of the Falcons, Dan Quinn, and the current coach, Arthur Smith, who's the offensive coordinator also. So we see who got the best of who on Sunday. And here's the thing. And everybody's going to talk about it. We talk about this. We as players know this. There's 1 to 3 plays in a game. You can play 75 plays, but there's between 1 and 3 plays that would decide the outcome of the football game. And I'm going to say this, going for that on 4th and 7, when you could have kicked a field goal to make it 7-6, that was a play that cost you, because now Dallas gets the ball, go down, score. Now you're down 14-3. So, and it kind of deflated the team after that. So that decision on I don't mind you going for it on 4th down if it's 5 yards or less, but 4th and 7 in that area of the field where you could kick a field goal to make it a 1-point game, I thought was it was a tough decision for the coach to make, but I thought it was not the right decision at the time. And it was funny how the Cowboys said, we're going to go into this game to take out Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson. And that's what their whole goal was. If we can take them out of the offense, we have a chance to be successful defensively. Early on, those two got rolling and they moved the ball. They get into the red zone and stall. Yeah. It's almost like when we get in the red zone, we try not to make a mistake. It's like we're here, we know we can get a field goal instead of staying aggressive and getting points. And that's going to cost this team down the road if they continue this way. They're going to be sitting on the outside looking in of this playoffs if they continue to play like this. But, you text me, says, I hope we have something good to talk about. There was not much. Well, I guess Gallman at the end of the game running the football was a positive look for the Atlanta Falcons. But other than that, man, they were out schemed and out coached. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Out schemed and out coached.
You already knocking out half my questions I had for you. So, and earlier I was laughing because we talked about, I asked you about the matchup players, coach. You're like, no, it's going to be DC Dan Quinn versus the OC Arthur Smith, or Arthur Smith in general as the head coach.
Right.
Well, I saw this morning, because I missed it yesterday. I didn't really care to see any Dallas celebration after they won, but they gave the game ball to Dan Quinn in the locker room, and they were going crazy.
Right.
So,
well, see here's the thing. I would bet you any amount of money that the team that gains the coach that just got fired, playing against the old team, usually wins.
Yeah.
Because they're glad to have him, and they don't want to embarrass their current coach against the former team. So their enthusiasm and their sense of urgency is a little bit higher than the team coming in. So they wanted to win that game for DQ.
Yeah.
And that's what and I and The Falcons didn't want to show, well, they didn't show uh, that they wanted to win that game for Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things that one team played at a higher intensity than the other, and you see what happened. And the thing is that this is who this Atlanta Falcons team is. They're up and down, up and down, up and down, emotionally, up and down, up and down, and can't be that way. You know, you can't you because it's 17 games. If there was 16 games and it was 8-8, and you may get in, but there's 7, you got to get at least 2 games over the 500 threshold to have a possibility to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's looking rough. The Falcons, and I'll get back more to the game, but since you brought that up, they were in prime position. I mean, when you play, did you necessarily keep track? I know not during the game, but did you keep track of your other divisional opponents? Like, hey, this is where they are. Maybe if
Yes,
they lose today,
yes,
because the
yes.
Falcons, as we both know, the Bucks and the Saints both lost yesterday. If the
You could have
Falcons
gained
would have,
ground.
yes, the Falcons would have been one game behind first place, but instead they lost. Carolina won. The Falcons are now last in the division, just like that.
Well, here's the thing. We knew it was going to be a tough one to go into Dallas and beat Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
especially after the embarrassing loss they had against the Broncos and the high that the Falcons was riding up, beating the Saints. So you knew those two was going to clash. And here's the thing: the team that forgets what happened last week and prepare for what's happening now usually wins, because some in NFL you can't look at what happened last week, or you can't look what's going to happen the next week. You got to be in the moment and in time right there. So Falcons were not. I don't understand how professional men can come out, and then I'm not just talking about players, I'm talking about coaches too, can come out and lay an egg like that,
Yeah.
especially against a team like the Cowboys. That's a team that you could face in the playoffs if you win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things that you go, this is a playoff caliber team in the Dallas Cowboys. Here's our chance to beat another playoff caliber team 2 weeks in a row, and we just didn't do it.
Yeah, they were completely flat. I mean, you couldn't get to the quarterback. The blocking was horrible. Matt was
Right.
skipping balls before they get to the players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the block punt. I mean, everything that
Yeah.
could happen happened.
Happened. Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to be optimistic. I was like, hey, maybe the Falcons can pull off an upset. But once it was halftime 36,
Yeah,
3, I think.
35-3 or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
36.
Oh yeah, they went 36. They went for the 2 on Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like that's another. How
Yeah.
you as a player, you see that across the way they're already beating the mess out of you, and they go for 2. Are you any more mad? Or are you just like, I mean, what goes through your head as a player?
Well, when I said, oh, why are they going for 2? But then it made sense to me, because you got to think, if you keep going in the game and the Falcons score, they still have to. They're almost 6 scores down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So instead of being 5, we're gonna make it 6 scores down,
Mm-hmm.
and that means you got to score touchdowns and field goals. And I can see that, because you got to understand, this is the team that came back on the Falcons just a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't want to see that happen to them. So
Absolutely.
it's in the back of their minds. Trust me, if we get a chance, we're gonna have to put this game away where they can't come back, because it happened to them a year before.
Would you look at film, or you're going to move on to the Patriots?
You have to look at film. It has to be quick, because you got to move on, because you got a short week, and defensively you really got a short week, because right now Mac Jones is lighting it up. They're playing extremely well, and their defense is on fire. So you got to get prepared. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I don't like about this game is, because we're going to hear all week and during the broadcast about the Super Bowl 6 years ago.
Yes.
Or whatever it was. We're going to hear that. It's going to be all day, all day, all day, all day. We're going to hear that. Falcons get up. They're going to say, last time the Falcons was up, it was against the Patriots. Then Super Bowl, Tom Brady came back. But here's the thing. This Patriots team, I don't know if they may only have maybe one or two players that even played in that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
On with the Falcons, they may have
Exactly.
4 or 5 guys that's still on the roster that played in that Super Bowl. So there's 2 different teams. So
Absolutely.
it's not like, okay, we're going to get you back for what happened 6 years ago. It's not the same
Yeah,
two
that's
teams.
over with.
It's not the same two
So,
teams. So we got to stop talking about that and move on. Now, I can say, people say, oh, we've been cursed since that. We have never been a team like that before, blah, blah, blah. It happens.
yeah.
It happens. And like I said earlier, you got to forget about the past. You have to have a short-term memory in the NFL. You got to forget about the past and play in the now.
Well, I got some fun facts for that. The Patriots. Well, first off, they've won 4 straight this season, and 5 out of the last 6. So, like you said, they're on a roll. Bill Belichick, and he's got them primed well. They're second place. Really, they got the same amount of wins as Buffalo, but only 4 losses compared to Buffalo's 3. So they're right on Buffalo Bills' heels. Now, I know we were talking about, yeah, definitely we're going to hear a lot about the Super Bowl, but I was just checking back. The Falcons, first off, we know they haven't won a home game in the Benz
Right.
this season.
Right.
And they've lost, get this, Terrence, they've lost 6 straight to New England.
Wow.
The last Falcons win was against the Patriots when you played.
In 1998.
November the 8th. That's the last time. You had 8
Yep.
catches for 117 yards.
Right.
And the Falcons won 41-10. That's the last time that we beat New England. So aside from that Super Bowl, the Falcons need to beat New England for their own.
Yes. Watch this. I'm gonna give you a little tidbit of something that makes you gonna go, Draft day.
Mm-hmm.
Going up into the draft. Remember, I said I can see the Patriots moving up to 4 because they had all these assets that the Falcons can get, because they signed all these free agents. The Patriots did to 1-year deals where it's not expensive for the Falcons to get 2 or 3 of those players to help their roster move down to number 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who was, understand this, trade Matt Ryan to the Patriots back home where he played his college ball, right there in Boston at Boston College. You move down to 10, and guess who's sitting there at 10? Mac Jones. Come on, man. Look.
But here's the thing:
I may not be the smartest man around, but I know a lot about football.
If that would have happened, I'm sure the Patriots are probably like 8-2, 9-1 with Matt Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, I kept saying, remember leading up to the draft, I said, I can see the Falcons trading that pick to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan going to Boston, going to New England. And guess where we sitting? Guess who we have right now? Fans, don't go crazy. Don't go crazy.
Oh, you're going to hear it.
One of those things, if, ands, and buts. That's what all that is.
Yeah, you're going to hear it about that one.
Yeah.
What do the Falcons have to do to beat the Patriots on Thursday night? I mean,
they just got to play solid football. Here's the thing: they got to come up with a solid game plan. And here, you can have the greatest game plan ever. You feel good about it. Great week of practice whatsoever. You get in the game and something happens. You get hit in the mouth, and you go, "Oh my God." You have to know how to make adjustments in the middle of a football game. If you can't make adjustments in the middle of a football game and at halftime, you're not going to be successful. And when I say, and that's on the coaches have to make adjustments in the middle of games and at halftime for you to be successful or have a chance to win football games. There was no adjustment made offensively or defensively during that game to stop the bleeding at all.
Do you think there's anything that could have been done though at halftime? What do you think it was a possibility that they could even come back from that deficit? Or
the Cowboys were rolling. The Cowboys was rolling. They were rolling.
He said in his interview that or his press conference that they asked him what he say at halftime, and he was just like, let's try to go out here and see if we got some fight or do something positive, I think he said. But clearly, nothing came of that.
Well, here's the thing, and announcers kept saying, well, here's a chance to see what kind of players Arthur Smith have with the Falcons. You
Yeah.
know, are they going to quit this and that and this? Here's the thing. That's good and dandy if you're a college player and a high school player, but when you're in the NFL, you're a professional. There's
Hmm.
not much you can say to a grown man to go out there and fight and 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 earn some respect from the second half of the game. So what you should be in the locker room doing is finding something that you can do to rally this team to move the ball, get some points, or rally this team to get some turnovers, to get good field position. That's what you need to be in the locker room doing because these guys already know that it was an embarrassment the first half that I got to go out there and play better because they're professionals. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't be there. So, you know, come out, 2 minute offense, go, go, go. We did that. We moved the ball effectively, and then we just shut it down. We just shut it down when we got in scoring range. You know, once you cross that 50, you got to be more aggressive than you were when to get to the 50. So we didn't do that. So the Patriots gonna do that. They arguably got the best NFL coach of all times of making adjustments, in-game adjustments, halftime adjustments, pre-game adjustments. Trust me, Bill Belichick is going to have his team ready to play, and you're going to see something different from him than you do everybody else that you play because that's who he is. He doesn't play the same defense every week. He has a defense for the Atlanta Falcons that he's going to play against the Atlanta Falcons, not what he did last week or whoever they played last week or the week before.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you said, you're facing one of maybe arguably the all-time greatest NFL head coach. So, what do you think he's going to do? You know, he's going
Right,
to really have like schemes and everything ready to go against the Falcons. It's going to
right,
be way different from what you just faced this past week with Mike
right,
McCarthy and the Dan
right.
Quinn defense. So,
Right. And like I said, so here's the thing. You don't know what, so when you watching film of the Patriots, especially defensively, you can watch the last 3 games and think that's what you're going to get. You may get a little bit of that, but you're going to get something different. So I just talked about a few minutes ago, that's when you got to have mid-game adjustments, in-game adjustments. First series, when you come out, if you don't score, you need to be on that pad looking and seeing what they're doing. The people downstairs need to be giving you all types of information. Well, this is what we're getting. This is what they're trying to do to us, blah, blah, blah. Here's the adjustments. Okay, let's go to this. Let's do this. This is our game plan for the next series going out. You can't just say, well, let's see what happens the next series. You got to keep every series got to be in-game strategy and in-game adjustments.
yeah, that I don't know what kind of adjustment. I guess maybe I was thinking about maybe rotating AJ Terrell off of Cooper and maybe let him cover CD, but I'm sure they would have went the other way once that happened. But you know, Avery Williams was getting ate up when he was on CD Lamb. Eric Harris once again had a ball go right through his arms. I
Yeah.
guess that's why he's on defense. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, that would have been a huge play to lead off the game with a pick six. Who knows
Right.
what would have happened? But
Yeah.
you know, it's all hindsight. Will the Falcons wake up from that loss, or is this something you can see happening again to them this year?
Well, I can see them waking up for it. You got to understand that was a matchup problem for the Falcons against the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
They had too many weapons, and we don't have any weapon stoppers.
Good
We
point.
don't have enough of those. So, I can see them matching up well against the Patriots. Here we go again. It's not about the talent of the Falcons, the lack of talent of the Falcons against great talent of the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
It's New England Patriots scheme against Atlanta Falcons scheme coming up. I think we have better talented players than the Patriots, but is the game plan and is the scheme going to be conducive enough to stop the Patriots offense and defensively? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I hope they can, like you said, be consistent with because they were going to Kyle Pitts earlier. He was making big catches those first couple of drives, him and Cordero Patterson, and running the ball, but just kind of went, like you said, it went flat. And I was
Yeah.
disappointed as well to see them go for that. It was 4th and 7. It would have made the game 7-6 at that point. I think that would have. I hope, I'm not going to blame that on the game, but yes, I think
No.
that would have definitely changed some of the momentum. But they grabbed a
Well,
hold of it, and that was all she wrote. I got a
the,
buddy who's a Cowboy fan, and
even the announcers were polite. Even the announcers wanted to say, "Oh no, what you doing?" But they were being nice and polite, and they kept referring to that 4th and 7 and how the team got flat when the the Cowboys got the ball, marched down and scored. You know, it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, William, which people fans you don't understand, and I'm gonna tell you right here what happens. It's 4th and 7. The game is 7-3, 7-3. We don't get it. They score. I'm telling you, the human side of the player going, why didn't we kick the field goal? Why didn't we kick the field goal? Why didn't we kick the field goal? I mean, you question it. You don't say it out loud. You may walk up to one of your buddies and get face to face and say, we should have kicked the field goal there.
mm-hmm.
So that little bit of doubt, that little bit of trust in what is going on creeps into players' minds.
Yeah.
And now they're playing like, what's next? What's next? What is going to be called next? I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. That's just human behavior in anything that you do. So here's the thing, and I keep saying this, for you to be successful as a professional organization, everyone has to trust each other and be on the same page. Any little doubt creeps in, you get what you got, 43-3.
I mean, it makes sense because I mean, like you said, the human aspect, you're gonna, hey, why do we go for? At least in your head, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're out there, the next drive, and it continues, and you're just probably thinking about it, like, man, we should have went for that. We should have went for that field goal.
But, but here's the argument. This is gonna be the argument right here. The argument is this. Well, we went for it. You should have stopped them from scoring the 14. You should have stopped them. So it's one of those things that, okay, we went for it, but I trust my defense to stop them. That didn't happen. So it goes both ways as players and coaches. Well, we went for it because I thought we can get it, but if we didn't get it, I trust you defensively to go out and stop them from scoring, and that didn't happen. So there's the trust between the two right there. That's kind of a conflict.
Yeah, and man, that's my thing. I get it. You might want to put the trust in your defense, but we know what the offense on the other side looks like, and the mismatch problems you just spoke about. So I don't even have a problem. I'm one of those fans that's like, yeah, go for it, but not on 4th and 7 in a field goal spot.
Right.
I'm more of like if you're on the 40, 39, 40, 41, and it's 4th and 10.
Where it's two. Yeah, I get it, but
yeah, you're gonna get comments that's telling you,
yeah,
gonna say, no, that's not why it happened.
No, but here's the. But people don't understand, and when we talk, I try to give you the psychic and the feeling of what things may transpire or what happened, or here it is. You just watched a film of the Broncos dominate the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
So you figured, okay, Dak is not all the way back; they're still struggling. So we're gonna go here and do some things until and catch them sleeping from the hangover from losing against Denver. You think that way. Trust me. You do think that way when you watch the film. And you go, oh my God, they're playing awful. So we don't trust that their offense, the Cowboys, can score points. So we're gonna go for it on 4th and 7 and see what happens. Yeah. But they was on all cylinders.
Yeah,
they were rolling. They were rolling. But look, moving forward, just as we talking about it here on Monday, they're talking about it right now in meetings, and the quicker at lunchtime is after lunchtime, it's time to get ready for the Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do. Like I said, the Falcons will play the Patriots this Thursday night football, nationally televised. So just in case, and I'm pretty sure everybody was probably watching that one because it was the Cowboys, but
Right.
everybody will be tuned in Thursday night because it's the only game on. So hopefully the Falcons will bounce back at home.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Hey, you know what? Um, it's uh I'm gonna try to make it make sense here. We all it's like the parable in the Bible when um the shepherd lost the one sheep and he left the 99 to find the one sheep.
Mhm.
And that's where we are in our lives, is that sometimes we get lost and we get away from the things that we're supposed to be doing and what God wants us to do and wants us to be. And sometimes we get lost. So, but we can always go back to the shepherd and ask the shepherd to find us, which is God Himself. Come find me and bring me back to into the fold, into the family, and take me in the direction that you want me to go. Sometimes we out there thinking I'm gonna go in my own direction, for my own understanding, do my own thing, but that's not what God wants you to do. So you got to come back and sit still and let God order your steps. And when He order your steps, trust me, you'll be blessed more than you would if you go out and do it on your own and your own thinking. So that's what I have for you today.
All right. Thank you, T.
Yeah, man.
Hope everyone has a great day. Remember to subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited. And we'll probably see you again soon because this is Thursday night game.
Yes, real soon.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Peace.